This is the pack we're duplicating here, so you can see size-wise it's just about right on. Now what I'll do is transfer the wires from the original battery pack to the new pack. Making sure to tin the leads. What you should get is something that looks like this. Apply a little bit of tape here to hold the two together. And it's going to wind up looking pretty much like the one we're replacing, I think. I'm going to use a slightly heavier piece of tape to hold the two batteries together, because they're moving a little bit, and that might be the weak link between these. Nice piece of gaffer's tape. And that's it. This is the old one. This is the new one. I'll do the same for the other battery and come back when I've done that. Okay, so now we have two batteries. I think we're finally ready to reassemble. One of these, they're polarized plugs, of course, and this one on the outside had black pointing up, so we're going to do that, or duplicate that. Making sure that all of this is properly insulated, because nothing could cause bigger grief than finding out that I'm shorting out the PC board. Another layer of tape probably would not go amiss here, just to be completely sure about this. There's room in the box. It's not like we're running out of room. Again, they're polarized plugs. Put this one back in, like that. This one is polarized also, but this one goes in the other way. So you've got one leads up, one leads down. Trying all the time not to activate these things. Do not want a call from my local disaster response folks. Now, there was a little bit of tape at the bottom of this, which should probably keeps it from bouncing around a little bit. Another piece of gaffer's tape to hold these in place. And I think we're ready to put it back in the case. There you have it. Plugs are connected. There is a battery test on this thing, so it should be possible to confirm that this is working. Now, if I've done everything right, this is just going to gently go back in this case, smoothly, quietly. Unless I've got a little bit too much tape on these, which is possible. Maybe more finicky as far as the tape is concerned, the thickness of the tape, than I had imagined. So I think we're going to peel away a little bit of tape. So it turns out that the gaffing tape around the batteries provides just a little bit more thickness than I could tolerate. So be spare with the tape as you're putting it back together. I've disassembled and just removed some of the tape so that there's no double thicknesses of it. And now it will go into the case, I believe, gently but firmly until it bottoms, which is where it is now. Make the leads nice in here, and I think we're in reasonable shape. Now it's just a question of reassembling all the little bits. This is the contact for the antenna, that little piece there. And that's touching on the nut that's in the case for the antenna, which is there. So there's a seal that goes around this. We want to make sure that we don't mess too much with that seal. And I believe the screws, after thinking about this a little bit, are called posidrives, and that's why the Phillips head is not an exact fit for it, but close enough. And the question now becomes, will I be able to get this to repackage? The battery terminals have to sort of fall out of the way for this to go in, and it, unfortunately, or for whatever reason, they pack this in very tightly. I guess I do understand why they do that, because they want this not to bounce around. Unfortunately, I've got another problem, and that is that this plastic bit is designed to force those apart, the batteries apart, and space them and hold them down. So I need to see if I can make that all work. I didn't realize that packaging would be kind of the issue here. I guess I should have thought that through a little bit more. The question will be, can I manage to get this all buttoned back up and run a battery test? That's the trick. And that looks quite good, actually. One thing you want to be really careful of is not activating this thing. There is an off button. I would be very embarrassed if all of a sudden somebody from emergency services shows up. There's also an indicator light if the thing comes on. That looks quite good. That looks quite good. We're going to run a battery test here in a second just to make sure we still have everything happening the way we think it should. Okay. So far, so good. That's the end of that. Let's run the battery test and see. Nope, I think the test does work. It flashed 3 times, and I will check online to make sure that that's what the proper test is, but you just have to press and hold that button for a second. So I have confirmed with the McMurdo FastFind 210 website that the light pattern that we saw, which was 1 flash and then 3 flashes, was the correct number of times. That shows that the battery is full and ready to go. So I apologize for the length of this video. It's gone quite a bit longer than I had imagined. It is my first YouTube video, so take pity on me if you give me any kind of rating at all. And as far as I'm concerned, this goes back in my pack, and I will trust it. Of course, I will test it periodically, or once or twice a year, just to make sure that it's still working. But do this at your own risk. Please understand that this is not recommended by most people. And if you want to leave me comments, that's great. If you want to tell me what a fool I am, spare me. Thanks. Bye, guys.